And welcome into Lehman Field here in Lebanon, Illinois for this GLVC matchup between the 19th ranked University of Indianapolis Greyhounds and the McKendree Bearcats. I am Chris Smith, and my partner today is Josh McGehee with Jeremy Kenilly running the production behind the scenes. Josh, we should have a good one here today.
Yeah, Chris, happy to be here today. A beautiful day here at Lehman Field, and it's going to be an interesting matchup. You think back to last year. Again, UIndy, they've been the class of the GLVC for so long, had another spectacular year last year under head coach Chris Keevers, but there was a little bit of just a setback there in the regular season. That was to these McKendree Bearcats. It was an excellent game last year, 21-16 in favor of McKendree. It was the Greyhounds' only regular season loss. Caleb Fisher threw for 3 touchdowns. You had Gavin Sukup there throw for 0 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, despite being eventually the GLVC Offensive Player of the Year. So for those, again, thinking coming in today, UIndy obviously ranked 19th in the country. They're having another great year. Expectations are that they should continue on throughout the season, but you have to be thinking, if you are the Greyhounds, allowed a little bit of a revenge factor about thinking that you can't take McKendree lightly because you did so last year, and look what it cost you.
You mentioned it, Josh. McKendree was able to get that win last year. It was their first win in the series history. The Greyhounds lead 11-1. You can believe the Greyhounds are going to be wanting revenge after that 21-16 loss last year.
Oh, for sure, exactly. And then, of course, when you look at things as far as the standings are concerned in the GLVC, you know, getting to this point in the season, late on in the year, UIndy, of course, 3-0 in the GLVC, trying to hold on to that top spot. They got Upper Iowa right behind them at 3-1, and then you got McKendree at 2-1, Truman State as well at 2-1. So they're not out of the woods yet, the Greyhounds. So they know every game matters. So they're going to want to come in today and play like they did versus Quincy, where they compiled 400 yards of total offense. They turned the Hawks over 3 times. They were 6 for 6 in the red zone. I think that was the most impressive part of the Greyhounds game last week. Then you look at McKendree. It was a good bounce-back game, homecoming versus Southwest Baptist. As you said, picked off the Bearcats 6 times in that game. But also the impressive part, you said the 309 yards of rushing. They ran it 53 times. And again, a lot of what has been about them this season, they're still the number 1 team in the GLVC in time of possession. They want to run the ball. They want to chew up clock. They want to control the tempo of this game. I think it's going to be a very important aspect of today versus UIndy. You want to keep that high-powered offense off the field as much as possible. So you do that by controlling the tempo, by controlling the time of possession. Also taking advantage of turnovers when you can. I think that's going to be a big aspect of this game today. McKendree off of that game versus Southwest Baptist, first in the GLVC and tied for 3rd in all of Division II with 11 interceptions coming into today. But they're going up against a team that does not turn the ball over that much. UIndy tied for 7th in Division II with a +9 turnover margin. They're good at turning other teams over, but they're even better about holding on to the ball. So I think look out for the turnover battle here today. It's always an important game of every football game that you go to, whether you're at Division II here or you're looking at the pros. But here today, especially when it so much matters to these two teams, you're going to look to see who can take care of the ball.
Looks like the officials are calling a timeout. Looks like they may measure. So initially, Josh, looks like the FAR officials gave him the first down, and the official closer to the play said, no, that's going to be 4th.
Yeah, it makes things a little bit more interesting here, but, I mean, it's 4th and I got to say maybe an inch or 2 here, and have to imagine that UIndy are going to look to assert their dominance here. So if I'm McKendree, I try to load up here for the run. And, again, watch the quarterback in this situation. We've already seen a couple designed runs here. He may tuck it and go himself to pick up these last couple of inches.
So we've seen an onside kick to start, an early go for it on 4th down. John Lewis in the backfield for the Greyhounds. Here's the snap. It does go to Lewis, and he's going to be tackled, it looks like, at the line of scrimmage. And it's going to be a turnover on downs for University of Indianapolis as McKendree holds on 4th down. Great defense by the Bearcats.
Oh, fantastic read there by Tanner Hollerick. The junior from O'Fallon, Illinois, came in today with 3.5 tackles for loss. He's going to add another one there as he is able to get in the backfield in a hurry. Again, McKendree kind of knew what was coming, and that time there they got early penetration, and it's such a huge momentum lifter for this Bearcats team after the missed opportunity on the onside kick to turn over UIndy on downs and get their offense the football.
There's a snap. Michael fakes his hand off to Clark. He's looking downfield. He's going for Abdur-Rahman, and the pass is going to be caught. Great catch by Kendall Abdur-Rahman as he had to kind of circle back and wait for the pass to get to him in double coverage. But a huge play from Ty Michael to Kendall Abdur-Rahman as they are inside the 30-yard line of the Greyhounds.
Great credit to the offensive line. They gave Michael the time, but how about that? Dropping it in the bucket. It could not be more perfect. There were 3 Greyhounds in the area, but none were ahead of the play, and Abdur-Rahman able to make a, again, over-the-head style catch there for a big gain.
1st and 10 for McKendree at the 28. Here's the snap. Fake the handoff to Clark. He's looking downfield. He's got Yogi Flagger near the sideline. And that's going to be a first down for the Bearcats at about the 15-yard line. So we've seen McKendree throw the ball twice here, Josh. Looking pretty good thus far.
I was going to say, as far as if you were calling this a boxing match, McKendree coming out firing haymakers there. That time they get Flagler on the out route there, perfectly open. And Michael there, got to have continued to have those quick decisions here today and execute to get those first downs.
Michael's got two receivers to his right, one to the left. Fake the handoff. He's looking to his right. It's a wide pass, but able to dive and catch it is Quincy Hall Jr. It's going to be a short gain, but able to gain a couple.
Yeah, that's a good read there by Michael because he saw the corner creeping in. If he throws that inward, that might have been a very dangerous play leading to a turnover. So he throws it to the other side, and Hall was able to make the adjustment. You know, something there is better than nothing. Able just to pick up a couple yards there. But that's a good read there by Michael. Again, being careful with the football, recognizing the situation, because you just can't have a turnover here down in the red zone.
Ryan Affalone, Jalen Ford, Yogi Flagger, the receivers. Eddie Clark in the backfield. Fake the handoff. Michael's looking to the left pylon. He's got Yogi Flagger, and a great catch by Yogi Flagger, as that's going to be a touchdown for the Bearcats. And Josh, Ty Michael threw that to the only where Yogi Flagger could get that as he reached out and was able to get 1 foot in. Great start by McKendree.
And I do believe that is the 18th receiving touchdown of Flagler's career, and that breaks the tie with Matt Cole for the program record. So couldn't have come in a bigger spot after he had the first catch. That one even tougher, but Michael, as you said, put in a spot where only Flagler could get it, and that's what he did, as he has done so often in his Bearcat career.
There's a snap. Sukup, he fakes the handoff to Lewis. He's got some run room. He's got a first down and more as he slides down across the 20-yard line as he's able to fake out the McKendree defense.
Yeah, the read option is such a simple play, right? But it requires the strongest of discipline from a defense. And that time, again, Sukup was able to read that nobody was home there for McKendree and took what he could right up the gut there and then got down before he could take a hit.
Kobe Lewis to Sukup's right. Here's the snap. He's looking. Pass is going to be incomplete as he was looking for Alonzo Derrick, but overthrown. It'll bring up 2nd and 10 from the 19-yard line.
Yeah, sort of an RPO there. You could see Sukup saw that the receiver was open, but threw it behind him there. And honestly, if the McKendree player was just rotated a little bit more in that area, it could have been a chance for an interception. Sukup, for as great as he is, has had a few games of multiple interceptions over the course of the last couple of years. So you can force him into some mistakes at times. And that time it almost cost UIndy.
John Lewis in the backfield. Sukup awaiting the snap. Handoff goes to Lewis, and he's going to be tackled for no gain as there was a herd of Bearcats there to bring him down.
Yeah, Keyshawn Lyons, sophomore from Cahokia, Illinois. He's been a huge part of this team, stepping up. One of the guys stepping up in replace of Brandon Wilson Jr., who's been out due to injury, but Lyons having a really great year, primarily in the passing game with leading the team with 8 pass breakups, but that time flashing his great tackling ability to catch up to Lewis there.
Sukup's got 2 receivers to his right, 1 to the left, Lewis in the backfield. Kinnett in motion. There's the snap. Sukup looking downfield, nothing doing right now. A lot of time, and finally getting some pressure. And he's going to be brought down for a sack by number 21, Jamarcus Gary. And that's going to bring up a long 4th down for the Greyhounds here.
Big time stop there by the Bearcat defense. Gary finally breaking through after Sukup had a lot of time to throw, but call that one a coverage sack. Great coverage down the field by the McKendree secondary. And with the huge sack now, you don't make this an easy chip shot here from a little bit far out for UIndy. So McKendree have a potential opportunity here to escape with 0 points despite UIndy being in the red zone.
Ian Burr out to attempt a field goal for the Greyhounds. Here's the snap. Kick is up. Kick is going to be no good as it's just off to the right. So McKendree holds, and it's going to be a turnover on downs for the Greyhounds, and McKendree will have it on their own. It's like 29-yard line to start their second offensive drive of the game.
Yeah, fantastic effort there by the McKendree defense. And think about it. We came on the air. We said last week, UIndy, they were 6 for 6 in the red zone. First drive, I think they were just outside the red zone there, but they turned it over on down. Second drive here, they were rolling off of a big play, a couple of big runs, but the sack there pushes them out past range, and then it's the missed field goal. So the mistake there in the red zone, hats off so far early on in this game to that McKendree defense, what they've been able to do.